In this video, I want to talk about a way in which we can change the way we set goals in our lives in order to make sure that when we want to make positive changes in our life, they stick for good. Watch this video to learn more. I'm sure you've probably had this before and you're probably aware, but making really positive changes in your life can be really quite a difficult thing to do. If you want to lose weight and you want to keep that weight off for good, it's really hard to see it through to the end and not only make that change in the first place, but to keep it for a long period of time. One of the big problems I think we have is that we tend to set goals in the wrong way. What we usually do, let's say if we want to lose weight, for example, is we say, I want to be 14 pounds lighter. I'm sure you've done this before, right? I want to be 14 pounds lighter, I want to reach 140 pounds, and that's my goal. And you have what's called an achievement goal. But even though this is quite a common approach, there are actually a number of problems with having this kind of goal. The first thing is that, let's say you've been working out for 3 weeks, right? You're chasing this achievement goal of losing 14 pounds. And in those 3 weeks, you've been doing really well. You've been going to the gym, you've been sticking to your schedule, you've been working hard. But you've only lost 5 pounds. So basically you've failed. You're in a state of failure because your goal is 14 pounds and you've only done 5. Even though you've been doing everything right and you've been working really, really hard, you've got that negative feedback loop. So that's the first thing, right? It just feeds back negativity. Invariably, one of two things happens when we chase achievement goals. Either we don't meet the goal, which is really common, we revert back to square one and we completely fail, or we do manage to achieve this goal, but then what, right? We've achieved this goal, we have a very, very small celebration, and now it's like, what do I do now? And either we set another goal, in which case we're always striving for something else, which can be very, very draining on our willpower, or we don't set a goal, in which case we're likely to fall back to how we were before over time, because we're not chasing a goal anymore. You can see then that this isn't really an optimal way of making positive changes to your life. Not only are you in a constant state of negative feedback, but also if you do achieve your goal, invariably it doesn't last and it doesn't stick. So the question is there a better way of doing this? And I believe there is. And the way I suggest we do this, if we want to make positive changes into our lives, is to use what's called identity-based goals and then small wins. With identity-based goals, instead of saying, I want to lose 14 pounds, which is an achievement goal, we say, I am the type of person that exercises regularly. On surface value, you might think you're just playing with the words here, right? They mean the same thing, but actually no. The focus is completely different on these type of goals. So now you have this new identity of somebody who exercises regularly. You need to think of a small win. So what's a small win for somebody who exercises regularly? Let's say 20 minutes of exercise 3 times a week. So you have this identity of somebody who exercises regularly and you have a small win of exercising for 20 minutes 3 times a week. Now, your only goal now is to build up evidence to support your new identity. So what I'm saying is your focus is on making small wins, 1 win at a time. It's to exercise 20 minutes and that's another small win. And then you exercise another 20 minutes and it's another small win. And what happens is you start to build up evidence to support your new identity. And before long, you have this stack of evidence to support the fact that you are somebody who exercises regularly. With identity-based goals, if you work out for 3 times a week for 3 weeks, then you have 9 pieces of positive feedback, 9 pieces of evidence to say, look, I'm the type of person who exercises more. You're getting positive feedback, not negative feedback that you were getting from your achievement goal previously. Not only this, but if you fall off the rails for 1 day, it doesn't matter because you've got 9 pieces of evidence here because you've been working out 3 times a week for 3 weeks versus just this one time where you failed. So you have a bit of tolerance there. Your identity is still intact. The really great thing about the identity-based approach is that at some point you reach a tipping point. And at that tipping point, it then becomes pretty easy to just follow through without even thinking about it. You've basically built up so much evidence to support your new identity that you are living that identity now. And what happens is that any threat to that identity is painful for you. So you become the type of person that works out because that's you, that's what you do. And if you don't work out, then you feel bad about it because it's threatening your identity. So with identity-based goals, not only do you have positive feedback for the actions that you're doing, you also have a tolerance for failure, but also it makes longer lasting changes that will stick. Essentially what you're doing here is instead of focusing on the outcome or the result, you're focusing on the action or the behaviors or the habits that will inevitably lead you to the results. You see, if you take care of the behavior of being the type of person who exercises regularly, the result of losing weight will take care of itself. So let's run through some more examples of identity-based goals that we can use. So let's say you want to become a better writer. Instead of having a goal of publishing a book, become the type of person that writes more and set yourself a small win of writing 50 words every day. Let's say you want to sell more. So instead of having a sales target of selling 20 products every single day, become the type of person that never misses an opportunity to sell and set a small win of making 5 sales calls every single day. If you want to get stronger and get bigger down the gym, instead of having the goal of trying to hit a 300-pound bench press, become the type of person that lifts heavy things and set a small win of doing at least 1 heavy set of exercise 3 times a week. If you want to read more books, instead of setting a goal of reading a book a week, become the type of person that reads more and set a minimum reading target of 2 pages per day. If you want to save money and be more frugal, instead of having the goal of saving, let's say, $10,000 this year, become the type of person that doesn't waste money and set yourself a small win of taking your lunch to work each day. Now, I want to quickly address something. It's really important that your small win is small, because it's really important that you build up this momentum. You want to build up a chain of positive evidence to support your identity. So your small win should be small enough so that you don't have any resistance to doing it. So for the reading example, reading 2 pages a day, that's so small. Nobody can have any issues with that, right? And that's the idea. You start small, and then over time you can just build that up. If your small wins become too large so that you can't see them through, then of course you're just going to fail and the whole thing is not going to work. So in summary, if you really want to make a positive change in your life, then going with achievement goals such as I want to lose 14 pounds, I want to publish a book, I want to sell 20 items per day, is quite a counterproductive approach. Instead, set an identity goal. Become the type of person who does whatever it is you're trying to do. Create small wins and then focus on building up this evidence to support your new identity. By doing this, you're setting yourself up for success. Not only will this be easier for you to follow through, but you'll also create more longer lasting positive changes. The key point is if you focus on building the habits and the routine, then the result will take care of itself. I hope you can use this information to build positive changes into your life. If you do succeed in doing this, leave me some comments below because I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, like my video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you again next time.